As I am here with you for this devotional, I want to share with you a reading from 2 Corinthians chapter 6, and this comes from verse 16. Paul says, "What agreement can there be between God's temple and idols? Because we are the temple of the living God. Just as God said, I will live with them and will move among them. I will be their God, and they will be my people." So here's the thing. I understand what God is saying, what Paul is quoting there. I will be their God, and they will be my people. It's covenantal relationship. But here's the thing, and I think I'm allowed to say this. I kind of disagree with Paul. I get what he's saying. This idea that we should make sure that we are living in a way that is in communion with those who are believers, so that we might be lifted up, encouraged in our belief. It's hard to do this thing called Christianity solo. We need a believers community. But as we read the context that this verse falls in, what we discover is Paul is really encouraging the people of Corinth. And keep that in mind. He's speaking to the people of Corinth. We're just the readers of this letter as well. But he's encouraging the people of Corinth to surround themselves only with believers. And in fact, at one point, he basically says, what do you have as a believer in common with someone who is not a believer? And as soon as I read that, my first thought is, well, you were both created by God. That's maybe the most obvious thing. We've both been created in the divine image of God. Now, does that mean that I'm perfect and someone else isn't? No, of course not. It means that we all fall short and we are all in need of the grace of God. And to borrow Paul's own words from Romans, nothing can separate us from the love in Jesus Christ. So I think Paul was talking to a particular people in a particular time. I don't believe that Paul was encouraging us, and I wouldn't encourage you to separate yourself from everyone who is not a believer. Because the reality is that we do have much in common with people who are non-believers. As Christians, we have in common a tremendous amount with people who are non-believers. We live in the same world. Our kids go to the same schools. We hear the same music. We live in the same neighborhoods. We live in the midst of the world that's going on around us. We have a tremendous amount in common. And that's all before we recognize, of course, that we have been created by our Creator. Each one of us. The believer and the non-believer. So here's what I would encourage. Hold fast. Hold fast to your faith. Absolutely surround yourself with people who are believers as well, because it is in those neighbors that we will find our community. We will find our encouragement. We will find our support. We will learn and grow together. But when we start to pretend as though a community of non-believers does not exist outside of that, then I don't know how we can do our Christian task. I don't know how we can fulfill the great commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. And so, Paul, I'm not sure I agree with you a whole 100%. Let's call it 75-25, and we'll move on with the day. Sound good? Amen.